Doing a Marlow update video on Saturday, August 28th. It's just before noontime. It's going to be an overcast day all day today, but this is the first coolish weather we've had pretty much all month of August. It has just been hot. After, the rain kind of cycled out, we were getting all that rain, it just turned hot again. Very hot, very humid. So it's finally a good day. We have a nice little breeze. It's really not supposed to get much above 70, so I'm taking advantage. I'm just taking a quick break to just do an update on the yard and how everything's doing. The grass is doing great. The lawn, is definitely growing this year between the rain and the heat. And the hydrangea shrubs are doing good. We still have more flowers coming in, so we should have blossoms on this well into the frost season, I think. Not tons of blossoms, but I love how they change colors. They start off nice and bright, and then we get that faded in there, and it goes to a little bit more white and starts off all over again. So even with overcast skies, these fountains, they don't go full time. Well, a little bit, but they spurt. So let's take a quick look at the garden, see how that's doing. Hi, spider. So the Laetra is doing good. Little by little, it's starting to blossom all the way down. And we've already noticed the butterflies on them and enjoying them. So here's one eggplant. Got some flowers. That one in the back there may turn into something. We have this eggplant here. Got a bunch of flowers on this one. And hopefully that one back there that's flowers dying back, hopefully that'll turn into a little eggplant. Cabbage is doing good so far. The cabbages that are over here are doing better with the shade than the ones that I'll show you over in the other garden. So I think it's probably mostly a little bit cooler here, and probably the soil's a little better. This is still the goat soil from before. So yeah, the eggplant's doing good too. We've never had eggplant doing so well. That celery, we definitely have to cut that tonight. Put that in the salad. These two are doing good. Really liking the celery. That was a great idea. For some reason I thought it was going to be a lot harder to do. So our tomatoes, I'm glad we staked them up, but we definitely still planted. We could easily have done with one or two less plantings of this and spaced them out a little bit. At the beginning of the season, we were trying to thin it out, but with the rain and everything, it just kind of got out of control. Nothing turning yet, but we do have a lot of tomatoes in there. At least this way we can get to them. But yeah, these bamboo stakes are just barely holding up. So this is the butternut squash that was just back there. And now here it is spreading all the way out. It's kind of following the path of the pumpkins from last year. Spread out quite a bit. And got some flowers in there, and there's a little butternut squash growing. And I do believe there's one or two further back in there too. We've done a little bit more of the Laetra over here. We had a nice lady come yesterday and take some peaches off our hands because she's making pies for good causes. We've had a lot of drops. And something's been coming and eating them. We found some of these split on the ground, so we're just kind of leaving them for the raccoons. And when I get out to mow later, I'll clean that up. But yeah, this garden, obviously it got really weedy again from all the rain. But yeah, these are the cabbages. They're really tiny. They're nothing like last year. And the Brussels sprouts, we'll let those go into the cold because they do well in the cold. We're still picking some of the kale. But that's still growing really well. It's funny, for a crop that tends to like cooler weather, it seemed to survive the heat that we've been getting and thriving. So that's about all that's really doing good here. And the leeks. The leeks are doing really good. And the kale. Like I said, the Brussels sprouts, I think one year we had good luck with that, and that's about it. Felly is hunting after grasshoppers. It's turning into grasshopper season. So sadly, a lot of the lilies have, finally been all played out for the season. They just don't last long enough. None of it does. But the wisteria is doing good. Liatro over here is probably the best in the yard so far. And we got sunflowers. Definitely a little shorter on this side, which could be, a combination of overcrowding and maybe the soil, even though we did add some good soil to it. I was also watching a video that they have really long taproots, and since the septic tank is under there, they may not have enough soil underneath them. It just may not go deep enough. And that would explain why these are doing really, really good. But I'm holding the video at my eye level right here. So this guy here is above me, and that big one up there is, and it's going to be a multi-head too. But we also have the beans growing very happily. Getting up, we got some tiny ones there, but there are bigger ones down in there. And on the fence, you can see that the vine's creeping all along the fence there and down. There's a bunch more beans up in here. And then these are already turning color. There were a couple of different varieties, and I think those lighter colored ones, I think they're going to get kind of like a little bit of a reddish on the side there, and the beans are kind of the same. But very happy with the sunflowers. How can you not be happy with sunflowers? And another little surprise here is the corn actually started to do okay. I mean, it's really short, but it did, once the cool and the rain stopped and we got some of that hot weather, it loved it. So who knows, maybe we will get a little bit of something in here. It's too early to see any ears yet, but that is what you want to see, is nice healthy tassels. You just got to plant it so you have enough corn so that they can do something back and forth. What are you doing under there? You're a goofball. Is that your little fox den now? You hunting mice? Goofball. Come on, let's go look in the backyard quick. Hi, Bangor. How you doing, handsome? He's looking good. They finally got all brushed out. Here it is, almost the end of August, and they finally got all their winter fur brushed out. Just in time to start getting some more, huh? Hydrangea is doing fantastic. It's all flowering out. And nice, big, big blossoms here. Nice and big and beautiful. You two are so handsome. So we still have a little bit of the bee balm left here. It's hanging on, and every little one of those, the hummingbirds keep checking out every day. And finally the Sweet William is done back there. Obviously the house is all done. Hi, Mr. Ginners. And some of these black eye Susans are doing good here. Dee's been adding to the garden. Just doing a little focal point And we found another container to use one of the other solar fountains. Keeping the birds happy. Keep looking at the sunflower to see if any of the seeds are turning yet, because the birds should be on that soon. This is the one that bloomed really early. And then, where is it? Here, I believe this is a dahlia that we're waiting. We don't even have a flower head on it yet. I hope we have enough time left in the season. And then there's one over there too, just in front of that ferry. But yeah, we're definitely transitioning into another period of time. I mean, the impatiens is doing fantastic. Look at those colors. It looks, looking down at my phone here, it looks fake. But it is just really well saturated. It's stuff like this on a nice cloudy day. It's great to look out in the yard and see. There's Noelle. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. They're out and about too. Some of the flies are still bugging them, but at least the it's a little cool for mosquitoes. Probably won't stay that way for long. But yeah, so these ones have not required a lot of maintenance this year. We've been very happy. I think they've been getting, you know, they're in a good spot with just enough shade so it doesn't get too hot. But definitely getting enough water. These are finally starting. I think they're getting toward the end of the season now. But we had a good run. And then these, I don't remember what they're called, but I know they're getting a little eaten up by the bugs, but they're just so much bolder. We had these indoors over the winter, and Dee said we have to bring them in again, and we should be able to keep them. But they're loving being outside. And these ones here that Dee got to put in these planters, they just, look at how long these things have gotten. They're all the way down here and wrapping back around. I think that they were probably down to about here when she planted them. So they're pretty. They're subtle, they're small, but I like them. And the only other thing is this cedar here. We are going to get some of these seeds when it's time, and I'm going to try to plant a bunch, at least half a dozen. I want to see if I can get to grow so we can spread that around the property a little bit. Because we can't believe how big this tree has gotten since we moved in here. When we moved in, it was probably about as tall as that brown on top of the oil tank there, that metal roof piece. That's about how tall this tree was, and it's just gotten fantastic. So anyway, that's a quick update for today. And as autumn comes on, I'll probably start doing some more videos as there's more to look at. And of course, we'll keep updated with the gardens. You got anything else to say? You're good? Okay.